At the age of 7, it's clear that Ryan Piansky has a green thumb. In his backyard garden, he's growing beans, peas, broccoli, sunflowers, and corn.
I like corn. Corn tastes good.
And it's one of only 4 foods Ryan can eat. That's because he suffers from a little-known disease called eosinophilic esophagitis, or EE, a rare but increasingly common diagnosis for American kids. At birth, he seemed fine, but at 4 months, he started losing weight.
Around 8 months of age, he started vomiting, just intermittently. Didn't think much of it. The pediatrician said it's probably just the texture of the cereal that you've started. Don't worry about it. 11 months of age, he had fallen off the growth chart again. And then the vomiting got worse, and by his first birthday, he was in the hospital.
3 months later, he was diagnosed with reflux, but treatment didn't work, and his parents, both practicing physicians, continued their desperate search for help.
When we came to the realization that we had seen every specialist in Atlanta, and not one of them knew what was wrong with my child, and not only did they not know what was wrong, they knew that they couldn't figure it out, and that's a very frightening place to be.
After 2.5 years, they finally got an accurate diagnosis at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center. An endoscopic exam showed Ryan's esophagus was inflamed and swollen. A biopsy indicated high levels of eosinophils, white blood cells associated with allergies, but not normally present in the esophagus. Doctors put Ryan on a formula of amino acids, a liquid that would meet his nutritional needs without making him so sick. Most people find the taste of the formula intolerable, so bad that they can't drink it and must be fed through a tube. For many, the tube is uncomfortable and it must be changed periodically. It can leak or fall out, and the skin around it can bleed and be tender. But for kids like Ryan, who have severe cases of EE, it's the key to survival. He needs formula every 2 or 3 hours, so each day at lunchtime he goes to the school nurse's office.
First I get my bolus in the clinic, and then I go to the lunch table, then I take out my Fritos from my lunchbox, then I eat Fritos, and at snack time after phonics, I have another bag of Fritos in my lunchbox that I eat.
Eating at home is also a simple affair. Food is no longer a focus of family life.
We don't celebrate with meals, we don't go out to restaurants, but instead we do other family-oriented activities like taking a hike, going out to the park. It's a very different attitude.
And when birthdays roll around, there's one cake for guests and another for Ryan. Beautifully decorated, filled with tiny presents, but made from cardboard or Play-Doh.
We've been at this long enough, we've all gotten used to it. But those early days with, I want cake, I want cake, I want cake. Why can't I have cake when they're 4 years old, looking at you with those big teary eyes, and all their friends are having cake? That's very difficult.
The Hoban family has also struggled since their middle child, Kaylee, was diagnosed with EE. As an infant, she vomited every day, but the pediatrician told her mother not to worry. Like Ryan, Kaylee waited years for an accurate diagnosis.
My first feeling was like just frustrated that it took 2.5 years almost to get this diagnosed, and I went through that motherly guilt. Basically, it was my fault because I was listening to advice that was not correct.
Fortunately, Kaylee is one of the few people who can take the amino acid formula orally. Her mom mixes it with Gatorade, and she has some whenever she's hungry.
I thank my lucky stars every day that she doesn't need a feeding tube to get this stuff in her.
But getting the formula hasn't been easy for Kaylee's parents. It costs about $1,000 a month, and at first their insurance company refused to cover it. Even after the firm agreed to reimburse them, shipments didn't always arrive on time.
I remember talking to one girl specifically. I said, how about this? How about it's Friday, you don't eat anything all weekend, and I'll call you back Monday, and you tell me how you feel, because that's what's going to happen to my daughter if I don't get this formula by tomorrow.
We can't go to Happy Harry's or Acme or the local drugstore to get our formula. We have to get it through the shipping company, and there have been 2 occasions where Kaylee has been without food.
And even when there's formula in the house, 5-year-old Kaylee is sometimes tempted to sample what her little brother gets to have.
When he started eating, solid food and eating the Cheerios and stuff like that, we caught her a couple times sneaking food, and it breaks your heart because she'll tell you, Mommy, why does MJ get to eat food? Why can't I have it like him?
I can eat everything, like my brother and sister.
Sarah wisely knows the feeling. For 9 years, she ate the same food as her siblings, and giving it up was hard. To distract her during family dinners, her parents bought her pets and took her shopping. But with 2 closets full of clothes, she still dreams of pizza.
I do have cravings for food, and I do always want to have a little bit, but I never really can, because I'll get sick if I have that little bit.
Symptoms may change over time and vary from patient to patient. Sarah's mother recalls early signs of the disease.
She had diarrhea constantly, and with me nursing, I said, that could be part of what it is, and it happens with children that are nursed. And then it just didn't go away. Then she was eating regular foods, and she started getting food stuck in her throat and burning in her chest, and the diarrhea was continuing all the time.
At the age of 4, Sarah began to lose weight. She complained of stomach aches and exhaustion.
I always wanted to get up and play with my friends, but I never could, and I just always felt like I had no energy.
At first, doctors thought she had reflux, but when treatment for that condition failed, they tested Sarah for eosinophilic esophagitis.
When the pathology came back, there was a large amount of eosinophils. And we thought, great, we know what it is, let's fix it. It's not that simple.
While the formula allows kids with EE to survive, many continue to feel sick. At the age of 9, Sarah missed 68 days of school. Doctors sometimes prescribe oral steroids to treat severe cases of eosinophilic esophagitis, but those drugs put patients at increased risk for serious medical problems, cause fluid retention, and psychiatric changes.
When she was on the steroids, she was a completely different child. Her personality changed. She was 24 hours a day grumpy. She wasn't sleeping. She was constantly fighting with her sister, arguing with her teachers. I would say, put on your shoes. It was no.
I feel very agitated and angry, and I get poofy, and I cannot sleep at night, and I just get frustrated all the time, and I'm never happy.
So Sarah and Kaylee don't take steroids, and Ryan's mother worries because he does. All 3 families are hoping scientists will find something to better treat EE.
The happiest moment of my life would be to see her on her birthday, to eat her birthday cake, instead of just handing it out to everybody.
In the meantime, they take a cue from their children, who enjoy being with friends and learning new skills. They accept their situation with courage and hope for the day when they can enjoy food and feel good.